My name is Daniel, and for a long time I believed my neighborhood was the kind of place where nothing serious ever happened. The houses all looked the same. The streets were quiet. The rules were strict, but everyone said that was the price of living somewhere peaceful. The HOA liked to remind us that order was what kept property values high. At first, I believed them. Then my neighbor moved in. Alex bought the house 2 doors down from mine. No loud parties. No broken fences. No problems. If anything, Alex was quieter than most people on the street. The lawn was always trimmed. The trash bins were always brought in on time. There was nothing about that house that should have attracted attention. But within weeks, HOA letters started appearing on Alex's door. The first one was a warning about improper display. No explanation, just a reminder to comply with community standards. Alex asked the HOA for clarification. They didn't respond. A week later, another letter arrived. This one included a fine. That's when it started to feel strange. Other houses had real violations. One neighbor parked an RV on the street for months. Another blasted music every weekend. Nobody bothered them. But Alex's house was inspected constantly. Board members drove by slowly. Notes were taken. Photos were snapped. Every time Alex fixed one issue, another appeared. One week, it was decorations. The next week, it was behavior inconsistent with community expectations. That phrase stuck with me. What did that even mean? Alex tried to stay calm, paid the fines, filed appeals, asked for meetings. Each request was either ignored or delayed. The HOA always responded the same way. This is about the rules. But it didn't feel like it. Things escalated when a letter arrived threatening further action if the situation was resolved. Neighbors started whispering. Some avoided Alex completely. Others were curious but afraid to speak up. Then someone leaked an internal email. It was from an HOA board member, sent by mistake to the wrong address. The message didn't mention rules, lawns, or decorations. It said, "Some lifestyles are making residents uncomfortable, and we need to address it before it spreads." That was the moment everything changed. Screenshots of the email spread fast. Group chats lit up. People started connecting the dots. Suddenly, the fines, the inspections, and the vague language made sense. Alex didn't post anything publicly, didn't argue online. Instead, Alex hired a lawyer. Within days, the lawyer requested HOA records, emails, enforcement logs, fine histories. What they found was impossible to explain away. The HOA had enforced rules selectively. Alex had been fined for things other residents had done without consequences. Internal messages showed bias. Meetings discussed image instead of violations. When the lawyer sent a formal notice, the HOA went silent. No more letters. No more fines. Just silence. The lawsuit went public a few weeks later. Local blogs picked it up. Then larger pages. People didn't argue about politics. They argued about fairness, about power, about how easily rules can become weapons. HOA sponsors pulled out. Insurance refused to cover legal costs. Board members started resigning one by one. At the settlement meeting, the same people who once hid behind clipboards avoided eye contact. The fines were erased. The eviction threat was withdrawn. The HOA leadership was replaced. Alex stayed in the house. The neighborhood changed after that. People started questioning rules instead of blindly accepting them. Meetings became quieter, fairer. This was never just about one homeowner. It was about what happens when authority forgets its limits. Rules are meant to protect communities, not punish people for being different. And sometimes the quietest house on the street is the one that exposes everything.